My name is Conan, and today I'm going to take you guys through exactly what I eat, not just to get lean, but to stay lean pretty much year-round without really trying that hard. So for those of you new here, I'm an online weight loss coach. I have helped hundreds of busy men by now, helped them drop 30 to 50 pounds, all without sacrificing their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym. So as you guys can tell, it is a pretty colorful diet that I like to follow. And so we're just gonna kind of go over everything one by one. And then, yeah, I'll pretty much just show you guys exactly what I eat. So starting with, where should we start with? I guess we should start with the carbohydrates. Now, before I do kind of touch about the specific foods that I eat, just know that this is what I enjoy eating. And it is what has worked for me the best. It's what I enjoy the best. It's what helps me with my bloating, digestion, my performance, with the goals that I have. So just because I follow this does not mean that you should follow this, but you can certainly take inspiration from this, right? So ultimately what it comes down to, whatever your goals are, just making sure that your calories and macronutrients are in check. So calories are king. Calories will determine whether or not you're going to gain weight, lose weight, or maintain your body weight. So you could literally eat the healthiest diet on the planet, but if you're eating more calories than you burn on a daily basis, you are going to gain weight. Which, if you're trying to lose weight, that is not what you want, obviously, right? However, with that said, though, eating mainly whole foods, healthy foods, makes it a lot harder to overeat on your diet, which is why I'm personally such a big fan of eating whole foods the majority of the time, because you don't really hear anyone really say that, hey, I binged on my diet. And I'm like, oh, okay, what did you binge on? Like, oh, I binged on a bag of broccoli. It doesn't happen, right? Or I binged on an apple, or I binged on fruits, banana, berries, peaches. It just doesn't happen. Most people binge on their diet because they're eating hyper-palatable processed foods. And I made a video about this yesterday where you have to be careful of those foods because for a lot of people, they can trigger a response in your body to make you want to eat even more of those types of foods. And yeah, I know for a lot of people, one bite of ice cream will turn into the entire pint, right? Just like one little chip will turn into the entire bag of chips. One little french fry will turn into the entire bag of french fries. One small little bite, one small little thing just triggers a dopamine response in your body to like, oh my goodness, this was so good. We want more, we want more, we want more. And you tend to likely overeat on those types of foods, right? Whereas, I mean, after you're eating an apple, it's not like, oh, I want another 10,000 apples. Like, you're pretty content, you're pretty satisfied. It kind of hits the sweet spot. Same thing with like a banana or like a plate of broccoli, a salad, chicken breast. Like, you don't really tend to binge on those foods. And so that is why I predominantly recommend for most people, regardless of what your goals are, whether it's gaining weight, losing weight, or just maintaining your weight and living a healthy lifestyle, to, at the very least, 80% of the time, revolve your diet around full, natural, single ingredient foods. And so if I were to explain this to a 5-year-old, hopefully there's not 5-year-olds watching this, hopefully you guys are a bit older, but it simply means foods that only have one ingredient. So look at what I have in front of me. How many ingredients are inside of a banana? One, right? It's just a banana. How many ingredients are inside of this apple? One, right? How many ingredients are inside of this avocado? One. So that is an example of a non-processed food, a whole food. Same thing with this chicken breast. It's simply just chicken breast. Same thing with broccoli, with these berries, with these other fruits. It's just one single ingredient. So if you can try your best to, like I said, 80% of the time eating whole, natural, single ingredient foods, you'll have a much easier time sticking to your diet, hitting your calories, hitting your macros. And then also, which is a very nice little added bonus, is that your cravings will absolutely vanish. Study after study has shown that we tend to crave the foods we eat the most. And so ask yourself this question right now. What foods do you crave the most? If the first thing that comes up is junk food, processed foods, just hyper palatable foods, it probably means that you're eating a bit more of those foods than you probably should be, right? Whereas if you were to ask me, for example, what I tend to crave the most, first thing that comes to mind is banana, chicken breast, and peanut butter. That sounds delicious right now. And if you're new watching this, you're probably like, what a weirdo. Who craves that? I crave that. And you want to know why I crave that? Because I tend to eat those foods the most. So going back to what I said earlier, we tend to crave the foods we eat the most. And so if you mainly eat whole natural single ingredient foods. Guess what you're going to be craving more? Whole natural single ingredient foods. It is a very powerful thing that I don't really hear anyone talk about. It's like most fitness coaches tell you like, oh no, everything in moderation is fine. Add some ice cream to your diet, add some donuts to your diet, you'll be fine. But unless you know that person, and if that person is fine almost like torturing themselves by just having a small little slice, and they're okay with that and they can live with that, it's like, okay, cool. But I found for myself that by completely just getting rid of that altogether, and just primarily sticking to these types of foods, that's like I have no more cravings, right? And not only that, it's like I feel a lot better, my sleep is a lot better, my performance in the gym is a lot better. I'm able to not only get the body that I want, have the six-pack abs, but maintain them so effortlessly. Like I don't have to actually even try hard at all, to be honest. Like I just go about my day, I work, I eat the foods that I love, and it just makes my life very, very easy. And on top of that too, makes your grocery shop very easy too, because the quick little tip here, when you go grocery shopping, it is your best bet to stay away from the aisles. So obviously there's the perimeter of the grocery store, and then there's those small little aisles, right? Try your best to avoid the aisles. And what you'll notice if you avoid the aisles, right, where like the cereal aisle, the candy bar aisle, just honestly like any processed food that you can think of tends to be within those aisles, right? Whereas around the perimeter, that's where most of the whole foods tend to be. So you got to obviously, as soon as you enter a grocery store, at least mine, the first thing you'll see is the produce section, right? It's your fruits and veggies. So I kind of start there, and then I work my way around to the meat section, right? It's the chicken, the beef, the shrimp, the seafood, all that stuff. And then you got the dairy section, right? Where you can get your milk, your Greek yogurts. And then next to that, you can get your eggs as well. And then there's like the frozen fish section. And so by simply going around the perimeter, as you can tell, you are pretty much forced to only eat whole foods, right? Because again, you're going through the fruit section, the veggie section, the meat section, the dairy section, the egg section, the fish section, and then boom, you're done grocery shopping, right? So if you can try your best to shop around the perimeter, it'll simplify your grocery shop, and that way you actually get a pretty guaranteed way to mainly only get full natural single ingredient foods. And now, once again, before I kind of dive into the specific foods that I eat, I'm not telling you that you can never eat processed food again. Like, I'm not telling you that whatsoever. You certainly can. But what I do want you to do is just add a bit more friction to eating processed food. So this is literally everything that's like, this is what I have. Like, I dumped everything out of my kitchen or out of my fridge, my freezer. This is everything that I have. So if I wanted to eat processed food, I have nothing in my house. So what do I have to do? Well, I should probably put on my shoes, go outside, go into my car, drive to either a grocery store or drive to a restaurant or just a place where I can get processed foods. Then I have to stand in line. I'd have to find what I want to get. I have to order it. I have to take out my wallet. I have to pay the person. Then I have to wait another 20 minutes for that order to actually come to me. And then I can finally sit down and eat the processed food that I want. Whereas if I want to eat something really quick, oh, I got this right here. So as you can tell, I've added so much friction to my life to eat processed junk food. It is very inconvenient for me to eat processed junk food, which honestly sounds amazing because we live in a world of convenience and fast food tends to be the most convenient thing, right? But I've curated my environment to make the healthy choice the easy choice and the unhealthy choice the more frictional choice, right? So there's a lot of friction involved. And on top of that too, I have made a rule to myself that I only eat processed junk food with other people, right? So that typically means going out to a restaurant, sitting down with my friends, going on a date, whatever it may be. I will never, and you will never find me sitting down on my own at a restaurant, eating a burger, eating fries, eating sushi. I will never do that. That is unacceptable to me. I find foods to be more of a social thing, especially when it comes to like eating out, eating something that's like tasty, right? So yeah, I tend to want to do that with other people. Now, I'm going to quickly run through this because some of the frozen stuff are starting to defrost, which is not what I want. So I'm starting with the carbs. So the majority of my carbs actually come from fruits and veggies. Keeps me full very, very long, filled with a ton of obviously vitamins, minerals, and a ton of fiber too to help me stay nice and full. So what I like to do is I like to grab kind of like fruit mixes. So instead of grabbing like a whole bag of peaches, I'll grab like a mix of like pineapple, strawberries, peaches, and mango. So I get a variety of fruits and veggies in. And now you're probably wondering, Conan, why are you getting the frozen kind and not the fresh kind? Great question. So most of these fruits that are frozen are actually picked at peak ripeness, right? And then they're frozen right away. So arguably they're actually a lot healthier and a lot better for you than the actual the normal kinds that you can find outside of the freezer section. And you don't have to wait for them to either ripen up, like they're already ripe, and also really convenient. Like they're already pre-sliced. I don't have to wash them. I don't have to cut them up. I can literally just like grab some of this, put it into a bowl, and then eat it right away, right? Very convenient, very easy. Same thing with my berries. So instead of grabbing just a big bag of cherries, I grabbed a big bag of strawberries, blueberries, cherries, and pitted red tart cherries. So I get a variety of fruits and veggies in. And that is a really important thing. Try to vary your fruit and veggie sources, so you don't want to be eating the same fruits every single day of the week or the same vegetable every single day of the week. Add some variety so you get a variety of vitamins, of minerals, because every single fruit and veggie has something unique to offer you, right? So don't limit yourself. Pretty much think about eating the rainbow. The more colorful your diet is, the more colorful your plate is, more than likely, the more nutrients you're going to be putting into your body, and the better you'll feel because of that. When it comes to my vegetables, this is quite ironic, but I actually just ran out of my vegetable blend, which had like cauliflower, carrots, sugar snap peas, and some other vegetables. I ran out of that. And so now what I have left is just a big bag of broccoli. But going back to the fruits and veggies, ideally I like to have a variety of vegetables. All right, and then a couple small little things here. Bananas. I love bananas. These are a pretty carb dense fruits essentially, so they tend to be on the higher end on calories compared to like berries, for example, at least per gram, per 100 grams. But yeah, I like having this before my workouts. Give me a good amount of obviously carbs for that. And then apples. I love apples. Very convenient. I eat like 3 to 4 of these a day. I love them. They're delicious. And they're really easy to also bring with you on the go. Like if you're going to be traveling, if you're going to be commuting, just bring an apple and a banana with you in your backpack and you can just eat it as is. And now for those of you who do not know, avocados. They're actually a fruit. Sorry, I have a notification up here. But avocados are actually a fruit, not just any type of fruits, an amazing fruit. Great source of healthy fats. I used to hate avocados actually as a kid growing up. I kind of forced myself to start eating them because I knew the health benefits of them, but I just never really would stick with me. But as I got older, these are like my primary source of healthy fats. I eat at the very least 2 of these a day with my meals. Very delicious, great source of healthy fats. Highly recommend. So that's basically that's fruits and veggie wise. Once again, I add a variety of them. Most of them are frozen just for convenience and then also for nutrient uptake sake. A random thing here is sauerkraut. This is definitely not like required whatsoever. It's just a great prebiotic, great for gut health as well, and just something really easy that you can add into your meals. For me, honestly, I just use it for taste, and it's pretty much like 0 calories, so great little way to add more flavor without adding any extra calories. And now when it comes to my protein intake, I am honestly a minimalist. I usually get sent protein, but this is chicken breast, so I got sent a bunch of chicken breast from a company, and yeah, I like to keep it just very lean, very easy. My main protein sources are chicken breast, eggs as well. I actually ran out of eggs. I'll be doing my grocery shop later today, but eggs as well. Yo, what's up, my man? I watch your vids. I highly appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. If you have any feedback, any specific videos you want to see more of, drop it down below. I'll do my best to obviously do more of that. But going back to my protein sources, once again, whole foods, right? So mainly chicken breast. I get the breast version. I don't get the thighs or the wing or any of that. I get with the skin off too, just so I get the leanest version. Eggs as well. I kind of more so view eggs as a fat source and not a protein source, because the protein to carb or protein to fat ratio of an egg is honestly a lot more in favor towards fats than protein. I believe per egg, large egg, 70 calories, 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat. So yeah, as you can tell, it's not really a great protein source. It's more so a great fat source. And so I kind of view my eggs as more so a fat source than a protein source. So yeah, chicken breast, eggs, those are like the main ones. Honestly, I eat a lot of that. Occasionally I'll have some red meats as well, like lean ground beef or Flank steak, sirloin steak, I love those as well. They just tend to be a bit more pricier, right? And I definitely, like I set a budget for myself. So within that budget, typically only chicken breast fits within that. But yeah, I do try to obviously eat some red meat a couple times a week as well. And then also some salmon for those omega-3 fatty acids. Great source of healthy fat too. But yeah, that's just primarily what I eat when it comes to my protein. And then fats, like I said, mainly the eggs and avocado. And then I'll have the occasional nut butter, specifically almond butter. My favorite type of nut butter as well. So yeah, that's basically everything that I eat. Really simplistic way of eating. I don't really think about what I put into my body. Everything is pretty much like pre-written out for me. So I know exactly what I eat for breakfast. I know exactly what I eat for lunch. I know exactly what I eat for dinner. I eat 3 meals a day. I intermittent fast, so I don't eat breakfast right away. I wake up in the morning, I do my cardio, and then I'll have my coffee. One thing I should show you, obviously, considering that I do obviously have this every single day. Coffee, this is just a coffee pod. I put in the coffee machine behind me. I'll usually have 2 cups of black coffee, no cream, no sugar, no milk, no nothing, just plain black. Great source of caffeine. It's an appetite suppressant, so and it also gives you more energy. And it also helps me cognitively, kind of keeps me sharp. So essentially what I do is I wake up, I do my cardio in the morning, usually about an hour. It's the run, 6 miles or so, or I'll do like a walk, just any type of movement really, but usually it's like either walking or running. And then I'll come back home, I'll shower, I'll have a coffee, usually 2, and then I'll do that while doing client work, whether it's billing programs, getting on calls, doing my client check-ins, or I'll edit videos, I'll make content while sipping on my coffee to keep me obviously in a fasted state while suppressing my appetite and also giving me energy, specifically cognitive energy. I've noticed combining caffeine while being just in a fasted state, probably not the best muscle growth wise. Like ideally you should be eating something as soon as you wake up, but whatever it is most ideal may not be most ideal for you given your preferences and your lifestyle and what you want. So yeah, that's just what I enjoy doing. I still hit my calories, I still hit my macros for the day. So I'm not really too concerned with like the meal timing. I'm more so concerned about the big picture. Am I hitting my calories for the day? Am I hitting my protein goals for the day? If I do, then I'm going to be happy and I'm still going to be seeing the exact same results if I were to eat as soon as I wake up in the morning, 6 small meals a day versus waiting a couple hours after waking and eating 3 larger meals in a day. All comes down to the same thing. That just comes down to personal preference. Now, the way I season my food is as you asked me, Tal. I don't use hot sauce. I don't use ketchup. Don't use mustard. Don't use mayo. Don't use any of that stuff. All I do is use salt. That is it. Not for some specific health reasons, just because once again, my taste buds are really easy to please. And what I mean by that is that I can literally just eat an apple right now and I'd be happy, right? And so when it comes to my meals, so my chicken and broccoli and avocado meal, I don't do anything fancy. I just add a crap ton of salt. I love salt. I salt everything, basically. Even like my fruits, I'll add salt to that. I don't know why. Oh, actually, one thing I do add, cinnamon. Yes, so I do add cinnamon to quite a few things as well. So I add it to my fruit. I add to anything. Whenever I eat an apple or a banana, I add cinnamon to that. Even to my avocado, I add some cinnamon too. And I'll add some salt. This is actually a really underrated combination. These are like my 2 main seasonings, salt and cinnamon. I use on top of a banana with an avocado and some chicken breast. Delicious. Delicious. Highly recommend. It's actually one of my favorite meals. Like literally grab some chicken breast, cook it up, grab 2 bananas, put it next to it. Don't be scared if they're going to be touching. Like you want that sweet and salty savoriness combination. And then add your avocado to the side, and it's pretty much a complete meal. You get your protein from the carbs, you get your protein from the chicken, you get your carbs from the banana, and you get your fats from the avocado. Season that bad boy up with some salt and cinnamon, and I guarantee you, your taste buds are going to be having fireworks inside of them. At first, they're going to be asking you what's going on. This is weird. We're not used to this. But over time, like I said to you at the start of this live call, your taste buds will adjust, right? We tend to crave the foods we eat the most. So the more often that you eat healthy, the more likely you're going to crave those healthier foods. So that is basically everything that I eat. As you guys can tell, no specific supplements. So I do take some supplements, but the reason why I don't show them is number one, they're specific to me, given my kind of lack in deficiencies, given my blood work. So just because I take a specific supplement does not mean that you should take that supplement, right? It should be very individualized. You should be obviously checking with your doctor, getting your blood work done, and then based on your blood work panel, you should be taking supplements to help you in any deficiencies. All right, like if you're vitamin D deficient, supplement in vitamin D. If you are omega-3 deficient, supplements in omega-3s, fatty acids. If you are protein deficient, like if you're not getting enough protein from your diets, then definitely supplementing any protein powder could be beneficial. But because I get most of my protein from whole foods, chicken, eggs, beef, salmon, fish, and from some of the meal prep that I get, I don't really have to supplement in a protein powder, right? I only really do it whenever I'm traveling or in a crunch. So yeah, I want you to view supplements as things to supplement your diet and not take over your diet. Because yeah, we do live in an industry where most of these supplement brands, they're great at marketing their product and service and making you feel like you're missing out if you don't take their products. But like guys, if you just literally eat a whole food diet, you will get most of what you need from actual whole foods. Literally, I guarantee you, right? But because we are so lazy with our diet and because we eat so much processed junk crap food, of course you're going to be deficient. Like if you only eat sugary cereal for breakfast, and you eat Pop-Tarts for a snack, and you eat McDonald's for lunch, and eat Burger King for dinner, of course you're going to be nutrient deficient. Of course you're going to have to supplement in a like multivitamin, vitamin D, creatine, protein powder. Because your diet is crap. But if you actually fix your diet, you don't need to take any supplements. You actually probably get to save a lot more money too. Like I don't know about you, but I spend around $50 a week on groceries. It will last me an entire week. And last time I remembered, eating out is like a $20 meal. Per meal. I eat 3 meals a day. So imagine that's already $60 in one day. Whereas my entire week worth of groceries is $50. I am saving so much money eating healthier. One of the biggest myths out there is that, oh, how do you afford to eat so healthy? How do you afford not to eat healthy? Like literally, how do you afford to eat junk food all the time? And not only that, it's just the ROI it gives me, right? The ROI it gives me and the dividends that it pays me every single day in better energy, better libido, better sex drive, more confidence, like just better everything, right? So don't view eating healthy as a bad thing or as a cost or as a liability. View it as an asset because it literally is. And it'll keep on paying dividends for however long you want to keep on eating healthy for. That is it. That is all. If you guys have any other questions for me, just let me know and I'll see you all soon. Peace.